Hello, my friends. Today we're going to talk about an interesting manga I've been reading lately. It's called Asuperu Kanojo, which translates into English as Asperger's Girl. Asperger's syndrome, for those not familiar, is what we would call high-functioning autism. Now, this is a slice-of-life romance manga about a girl with autism. It sounds kind of cute, kind of quirky, but what really caught my attention about this manga is how it portrays the stark reality of living with a psychiatric disorder. Saito Megumi is the main heroine of this manga. Her most notable feature is her piercing stare. Her intense gaze and lack of social cues is one of the first behaviors you might observe in a person with autism. Her character design is unique and distinctive. Her sense of fashion is odd, and then you realize she's copying some 80s pop singer. Even from first glance, she is a strange individual, that there is something off about this girl. The story is told from the perspective of a young man named Yokoi Taku. Yokoi is a part-timer who also draws hentai doujins, as well as his own original webcomics. Saito meets Yokoi because she had become enamored with his original works, which are usually stories of bullied people who fall into despair with no good ending. Saito says that she relates a lot to the characters of these stories, as she feels that she is finally being represented in a story. The first night Saito spends with our male protagonist, she slits her wrist. The following day, she goes walking in the park and kicks a dog that runs up to her. After that, she explains her condition and how her family mistreated her. Within the first few chapters, this series makes it clear that Saito is not just a weird girl, she's disturbed. She has mental issues that stop her from living a normal life. Imagine a person that is on the brink of suicide, and in a seemingly desperate cry for help, she goes to a random stranger's house in the hopes that she can find someone that can understand her. And that's something to think about as you read throughout the story. At face value, this seems like a romance slice-of-life series about a quirky, weird girl, but it's a lot more than that. Saito represents a marginalized group of people that you typically won't see in most media. Her difficult life is not only just the product of her mental condition, but also her abusive upbringing. We see a person who is simply unable to surmount her problems alone because every day she struggles in a battle against her own mind. A lot of stories are about someone who faces conflict in their life and through their own strength of will manages to overcome them. These stories are indeed inspiring and present a message everyone can relate with. But an important thing to remember is that for many people, the strength to move on from adversity comes from the people that care about them. For some people, they might not have the best family situation. Due to some circumstance, there might not be anyone in their life that cares about them or understands them. Because of her condition, it's hard for Saito to call out and ask for help. She has feelings of isolation and loneliness from people, even with her own family. This is why the compassion of Yokoi is so great in this series. He takes the time to understand Saito's struggles and tries to give her a new perspective on life. Sometimes blind kindness can do more harm than good, and Yokoi realizes that Saito needs more than just kind words. He does what he can to help her accommodate to a new lifestyle and for her to become more connected with the outside world. Yokoi himself is not a perfect individual, but he uses his own struggles to be that pillar that Saito can rely on. Despite being only recently acquainted with Saito, Yokoi is the first person to see her not as this weird, quirky, autistic girl, but as a human being that needs love, care, and attention. And sometimes sex. All in all, I'm really enthralled with the series. Not many romantic stories will tell you in the first few minutes that the main heroine is a severely damaged mess. There's some development, but progress is slow. But it's one of those series where it has to be slow, because to rush the story would undermine the themes the story is built on, that it takes time to change a person and help them heal. My biggest complaint is really how the English translation for this series is so behind the actual Japanese release. But it's a fan translation, so we should be grateful someone did this for free in the first place. I will leave a link in the description on where I found the manga, And if you enjoy the story a lot, go and support an official English translation when it comes out. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as this helps my YouTube analytics as well as my self-esteem. Future videos are to come, so stay tuned.